Did you know that Sandslash might be based on one of the most endangered animals in the world? Our research continues as we dig into the similarities between our world and all existing Pokémon. Today we're checking out some spiky animals of the world that love to curl up into balls. Stay to the end to find out who Sandshrew and Sandslash are in real life. To start, let's take a look at Sandshrew. Its English name is a combination of sand and shrew, which is fairly descriptive. It's slightly more telling than its Japanese name, Sando, which literally just means sand. Oh, the simplicity of the 90s. But what even is a shrew? Despite their resemblance to mice, shrews are not actually rodents whatsoever. They are members of the order Eulipotyphla that consists of animals like shrews, moles, and hedgehogs. Unlike rodents. I'm having PTSD from the Rattata episode. As I was saying, unlike rodents, which have large gnawing incisors and varied diets, Eulipotyphla animals like shrews and moles have pointed teeth for insect eating, a high metabolism, and rely more on smell and touch. Additionally, they belong to a different evolutionary lineage, making them closer relatives to hedgehogs than to rodents. There are more than 486 species in the order Eulipotyphla and are found all over the world, except for Australia, southern South America, and the polar regions. And since Sandshrew combines sand and shrew, I got to wondering, is there an existing shrew that actually prefers the sand? And then I remembered, I saw a tiny sandy-colored mammal thriving in the harsh deserts of the southwestern United States and northern Mexico. It was none other than the desert shrew, also known as Crawford's gray shrew. And I was lucky to see one as they use their small size and color to blend perfectly with the desert landscape, much like a sandshrew would. The desert shrew's claim to fame is that it requires almost no water and extracts all it needs from the insects it consumes. This impressive water conservation allows it to survive in some of the driest places on Earth. But now that I look at it, besides the pointed nose, it really doesn't resemble Sandshrew all that much. Sandshrew has a wider tail, white belly, and a yellow back that looks like Egyptian pyramid bricks. Sandshrew also seems to like to curl into a very tight ball. I think I know of an animal that it shares some qualities with. It's famous for its rugged armor-like shell that shields it from harm and ability to roll into a protective ball when danger strikes. It's the armadillo. These remarkable mammal's shells are composed of bony plates covered in a tough layer of keratin that offer protection without sacrificing mobility. These little tanks can run 30 miles per hour, over 3 times as fast as an average human. Beyond their armored defenses, armadillos also possess powerful claws, adapted for digging, which they use to create burrows and unearth insects, which is their primary food source. They have a highly developed sense of smell that helps them locate food underground, which compensates for their poor eyesight. You wouldn't think it of Sandshrew though, with those big cute anime eyes. Quick fun fact: Sandshrew is the regional mascot of the prefecture in Japan, Tottori, that is known for its massive sand dunes. There's even a park nearby where all the playground equipment is in the shape of a Sandshrew. Love the sand armadillo representation. Before we get to what animals resemble Sandslash, earthquake that subscribe button. Similar to Sandshrew's Japanese name, Sandslash starts with Sando. However, it gets the suffix pan to make Sandopan. In Japanese, pan means bread. While I highly doubt they were referencing sandy bread, there have been stranger things that have happened in the Pokemon universe. Now I'm looking at you, Vanillite. Can't wait until we get to discover the history of ice cream cones in a few hundred episodes from now. Anyways, more than likely, pan comes from the first part of pangolin, an animal we'll get back to in a couple minutes. But first, let's check out a few of my spiky friends that share features with Sandslash. The first animal that comes to mind when thinking of spiky animals is the porcupine. These large rodents are known for their sharp quills, which is an adaptation for self-defense. These quills, which are modified hairs coated in keratin, cover their backs, sides, and tails, and can detach easily when predators come into contact with them. Biology fun fact time! Contrary to popular belief, porcupines cannot shoot their quills, but instead will back up into predators or stay motionless. If another animal does get poked, the barbed tips of the quills make them difficult and painful for predators to remove. They are basically saying, "Don't mess with me or find out what will happen." Additionally, porcupines are excellent climbers, with sharp claws and a strong tail that helps stabilize them while navigating trees in search of food. With a keen sense of smell, porcupines can locate food even in challenging environments, like temperate forests and deserts. While porcupines may have the spirit of a Sandslash, these spikes just don't match and they barely roll into balls. Let's try another. Next is the hedgehog. These small mammals that are found across Europe, Asia, and Africa are known for their protective spines, which serve as a unique defense mechanism. When threatened, a hedgehog's powerful back muscles allow it to curl into a tight ball, with spines pointing outward to deter predators. Unlike porcupines, a hedgehog's spines are not barbed, nor do they detach, but they still offer effective protection. Alright, I don't think Sandslash's spikes come out and they definitely roll into balls. Maybe we're onto something. However, even though hedgehogs have claws, they can't do much more than dig into the soil to forage for snacks. It would have been fun to have a Nintendo version of Sonic the Hedgehog, but it just doesn't quite match Sandslash. Let's check out a spiky species with claws. Onto echidnas. These fascinating creatures, only found in Australia and New Guinea, are known as monotremes, which are a unique group of egg-laying mammals that consist of platypus and echidna and possess both mammalian and reptilian characteristics. I mean, most Pokémon do lay eggs, don't they? Echidnas are covered in sharp spines interspersed with fur. Echidnas use these spines as a defense mechanism just like the previous species and curl into a ball to deter predators. Their powerful front claws make them excellent diggers, allowing them to quickly burrow to escape danger or forage for food. As I recall from Pokemon Snap, Sandslash is an excellent digger and would jump and dive into the ground. I could never get a good picture of that guy. Anyways, while the last few species all share some resemblance to Sandslash, there is one species that has it all, and that is the pangolin. These remarkable animals are known for their tough, scaly armor, which covers nearly every part of their bodies and are made solely of keratin. When threatened, pangolins curl up into a tight ball, making their overlapping scales an almost impenetrable shield against predators. Oh yeah, that's the Sandslash ball we were looking for. Pangolins are also masters at digging and using their strong, long claws to break into ant and termite mounds for snacks. Did you know there are 8 species of pangolins, each with unique adaptations suited to their specific habitats across Africa and Asia? They are divided into 4 African species, known as the Temminck's ground pangolin, giant ground pangolin, black-bellied pangolin, and white-bellied pangolin, and 4 Asian species known as the Indian pangolin, Chinese pangolin, Sunda pangolin, and Philippine pangolin. African pangolins are generally split between tree dwellers and ground dwellers, and in Asia, the Chinese and the Sunda pangolins are more adapted to climbing, while the Indian and Philippine pangolins are primarily terrestrial. Wow, these little friends are cute! Physically, Asian pangolins tend to have larger overlapping scales compared to African species, which is likely a response to different environmental pressures and predator threats. Asian pangolins also have a more developed forefoot for digging, which helps them burrow in search of ants and termites, while African pangolins often rely on their long tongues and tree climbing skills to forage. Even though there are quite a few differences amongst the 8, all pangolin species share the similar behavior of rolling into a ball, and I just love that about them. Now it's time to act like a Sandslash and sand attack that like button. And now, who's that Pokémon? It's an armadillo and a pangolin. It's Sandshrew and Sandslash in real life. Pangolins are beautiful creatures, but sadly they're also one of the most trafficked animals in the world. Their unique armor of tough keratin scales has made them a target for poaching, as these scales are falsely believed to have medicinal properties in some traditional practices. This demand, along with habitat loss from deforestation, has led to a rapid decline in pangolin populations across Africa and Asia. If you want to help out the real-world Sandslash, consider donating to pangolin conservation organizations, telling others about pangolins and the threats they face, write to government officials, and as always, refuse pangolin products like meat, medicine, wine, jewelry, scales, and leather. By supporting anti-poaching initiatives, we can help ensure a future where pangolins can thrive in their natural ecosystems. And if you want to learn about other amazing animals on Earth, check out one of my other episodes here.